Why should I put my home in a living trust amongst every other asset that you have? So we're going to talk specifically about a trust. A will is not enough. The three things specifically I want to talk about regarding this is, how do you own nothing but control it all? So what's the actions of actually putting a trust together? And I'm going to give you a link. We'd love to help you set it up. And we do it way, way more reasonably and high value, just because we take you all the way through the end of the paperwork to fund it. So we'll talk about that as well. Number two, what are the benefits and the results upon death by having your home in a living trust? And number three, what are the common mistakes to avoid? And you got to stay to the end, because I'm going to give you some big ones that can absolutely blow your entire estate out of the water if you don't do it right. So number one, let's begin with, why would you even put your home in a trust? First of all, your home would be better served to be in an LLC and then the LLC held in trust. Now, I can't give you any legal advice or financial or tax advice. Operating inside of a company activates the 81,000 pages of tax code. So it's easier to operate inside of an entity than it is to operate inside of a trust bank account. You get better deductions, you get better protections, so you want to layer it. All assets go into an entity, and the entities are funded by the trust. So upon death, the entities just transfer to your heirs, of which, if you're being responsible, you're teaching them along your journey how to manage and continue to grow your generational wealth. So the action of actually setting up a living trust, we have a link below. Generational Wealth Systems is one of my companies. My partner will have a whole session with you, talk to you about what kind of trust, what state you're in. Some of you are in transition and moving. You have got to recast your trust and reorganize it back into another state if you decide to move. So there's just a whole list of questions and really private interview questions that we want to talk to you about: when it's right, what state, how to do it, and then how to get it funded. Why do you want your home in that? Is because you make it impenetrable. You put it in an entity, and the entity is held in trust. Now, some of you say, but this is my home. And if you're one of those folks or families where every 2 to 5 years you want to move, then you probably don't want to use an entity, but you're going to want to put the mortgage inside of the trust. So that's a different decision, again, a decision tree that Scott and our team is going to talk to you about. So what are the benefits and the results of putting it in a trust? I'm actually going to read. There's 3 specific things. You're going to discover how a trust helps you avoid probate. So number one, a will does not avoid probate. I don't know how many people have gone to my AskLoral.com site, ask a question, make a request anytime. You can go to that site. So you have to have a trust, and it's a worldwide issue. You have to have a trust to avoid probate. I don't care if you die in Canada, in Mexico, in any other country. Probate's a real thing, which means you're going to give 40 to 50% of your estate to the state that you live in, instead of putting a trust, which doesn't cost a lot of money, but it protects all of your assets. So it is absolutely vital, if you want to be a wealth builder and you're learning through our process of becoming a millionaire, to use trusts appropriately. There's revocable and irrevocable. You're going to want this to be irrevocable, which means it's changeable until your death. So number two, really understanding the flexibility that you're going to have with a revocable living trust versus irrevocable. If you do an irrevocable, you actually have to have executors make the decision. So if you want to do something, you've got to consult your trustees and your executors to do it. And they're not as changeable or as flexible. So again, Scott and our team, we'd love to talk to you, have a whole session. What do you really want? Where are you today? And what do you want later? Trusts also are a great vehicle to not only pass on generational wealth, but to divide the assets amongst the kids. I mean, generational wealth usually is spent in 2.3 years. So the only way you have it for the long haul is each child could have their own trust. If the home is sold, then you would divide that however proportional to how you want to give it to your heirs. But there's a lot of considerations, as you can tell. So right now I'm bringing up more questions than answers intentionally, so you have a one-on-one session about your situation. It's a complimentary session. You don't need to pay for it. We aren't going to tell you exactly everything we're going to do, so you can take that and then go to this lovely thing called the internet, the bathroom wall, and try to do it cheap and on your own. You don't know what you're doing. And the people who do that, we find consistently do not have appropriately funded trusts, which means when you go to probate and the court looks at your documents, if they're not accurate, guess what? You're going to get thrown into probate. And a home many, many times gets thrown into the probate situation because they didn't fund it properly, they didn't put the mortgage into the trust, and they didn't document it properly. So let our team help you, let the pros do it properly for you. The third thing, though, is for generational wealth and any other charitable contributions. So you can either put that through the trust entity straight to the charitable contribution. However you want to do that, again, that's more of a tax decision, because anytime that you're doing estate planning, there is a massive tax advantage and just issues you need to deal with. If you've gifted to your children throughout their lifetime, a total lifetime gifting today is $11.2 million you can pass to each heir. Now, again, politics, That might change, it might get reduced, but it stood the test of time for quite a while. 11.2 million. You got 6 kids, you can pass on over 66 million and not have to pay tax if you do it right and structure it the way we're going to tell you to do it, and our experts and legal teams. So if you're enjoying all this content, we've been here now for over 2 years. I want you to subscribe to the channel, click the notification button, and be here 5 days a week. Listen to each piece of content. If you don't think it's relevant to you, instead of say, oh, I'm not interested in that today, say, I wonder why I'm not interested in that. How come this is on my radar? Because everything I talk about in this channel should be on your radar from either a business owner perspective, an entrepreneur perspective, a wealth building perspective, and generational wealth perspective. So every topic matters. Let's wrap this up with some of the biggest mistakes, and they are crisis mistakes, and it's really going to irritate you. The lack of follow through. I'm going to put CPAs and lawyers all in the same category. If they say they handle it, you better know enough about the documents to make sure it's handled. I don't know how many people have passed and their estate goes to the probate court for review and the documents have not funded properly. The house was not funded properly into it. You want an extra set of eyes. You want some extra experience, which is why a lot of people get mentored and coached, as we help you set this up. And then behaviorally, you and your family live in it, including how do you behave and work with an executor of the trust. Another huge mistake, which is in line with the lack of funding, but it is the documentation. There are certain documents that have to be notarized, non-optional. And if they're not, again, you get thrown into probate. So there's a lot of little details. That's where we find a lot of the common mistakes. And you think, oh, my lawyer, my CPA said they'd handle it. At the end of the day, guess what? This is your trust. It's your probate problem. They may or may not even be alive, or even your lawyer or accountant at the point of death. So you have to take the responsibility, which is why our community exists, to get you knowledgeable enough to lead a team. And if you don't know how to do that, let our team help you. Click on the link below. Go grab a strategy session with one of our team on how we can support you and your family's wealth and business goals. If you have any questions at any time, go to askloral.com. Again, ask a question, make a request, and we will be back here tomorrow.